Good morning, everyone. How are you? I am Nancy, Nancy Ortinau, Nancy O, however you want to do it. I'm out of practice. I haven't seen you guys in so long. This is my husband, Rick. He is my sidekick. And today he's going to be sampling some food we make. It's the first time we've ever tasted dandelion greens. But I just wanted to welcome you back to our cooking show. We are very happy to be back here. We've missed everyone. And we'll get into why we haven't been here later because I have a little story for you. But first, I want to get started on our recipe because, I always send Rick back to that stove to do the cooking, and then I have to talk while he's cooking. So we're going to do sauteed dandelion greens today with eggs. Now, I have never had dandelion greens. I am very, very curious about how this is going to taste. I knew that it was a superfood. So it is one of the healthiest, actually healthier than spinach. And something else that I have learned about greens is the darker the green, the healthier they are, and then they're probably more bitter at the same time. So this recipe can be made for breakfast or maybe dinner. It only has 4 ingredients and very simple to do. So this is dandelion greens. This is what they look like. And you probably want to use the smaller ones. Ours got a little crazy. We have a picture of our tower garden coming up here in a few minutes, and it went crazy in the basement. I have been laid up for the last 6 weeks, a little longer, with an unexpected surgery. And I could not get down there to help Rick maintain anything. And he's been busy taking care of me. So it got crazy, overgrown. So when you see the picture, you'll see how crazy it is. So because these are going to be a little bitter tasting, we're going to blanch them in some hot water. We have already done a batch here, but I'm going to pass these back to Rick to do. Oh, yes. Here, put these in. Let me tear those up, and we can add these to it. We're just going to add this to our egg dish. This is very simple to do. We're going to take some shallots, and we're going to saute them in butter after he gets done blanching this. There, that's probably enough. I'll set that aside. We're also going to make like a little nest in the pan, and it's going to have the eggs in. This is the, I said shallots and I meant leek. This is like an oversized green onion, as you can see. Yes, go ahead, and he's going to go ahead and do the greens back there in the pot. You're just going to dip them in and take them back out right away. And these things, I thought they were not going to be as wilted as they were, but they were very wilted. So I guess we did it correctly. So back to the leek. The leek is a very large looking green onion. And we have those all chopped up, ready to go into the pan. And you can see this is like, it was like this long. So it was all white here. So you only want to use the white and the light green parts. So we'll set that aside. And did you finish that already, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, so the leeks are out. We're going to use them in our recipe. And he is going to take 2 tablespoons of butter back there. And he is melting that. And we're going to put the leek in with it. You want to grab this, Rick? Yeah. So that's going to saute for about 5 minutes. So while he's doing that, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat this morning. While he's sauteing the, I keep wanting to call it shallot because I already called it a shallot, the leeks. The leeks are going to give it a sweet taste. It's going to balance out the bitter taste of the dandelion greens. And then we're going to top it with the feta cheese, which is just going to give it a like a nice little briny taste between the runny eggs, the dandelion greens, and the feta cheese. It's going to be a great combination. You can serve it with like a crusty piece of bread if you want bread with it. If you don't have to have bread with it. We are trying to do healthier things, but I don't think a piece of bread once in a while is that hard on you. So I would like to talk about the tower garden, how crazy it grew for the 6 weeks that I was laid up. So my point with the tower garden is I talk about, look at the craziness on the thing. I talk about how nutritious this tower garden is. I had to have a very invasive back surgery, and I eat well. I try to exercise. I try to eat healthy. And this was a grueling recovery for me. I had the surgery a year ago and I broke some hardware by taking a fall and I had to redo the surgery. And I'm telling you now, I'm not sure how people that don't stay healthy can survive something like this. I had an accident. I had to go through this. In my recovery, I feel it was so much better because I put such high nutritional value into my food. Rick was able to go down in the basement. We had these wonderful salads. We had wonderful greens, and the health and nutrition I know helped me get better. So this is why I want to inspire you to do something really healthy for yourself today. So how are I'm going to check on Rick now. How are those doing about? Okay, so 4 more minutes.
Couple more.
Okay, so what he's doing is he's sauteing those in the butter, and we're going to get them nice and tender. And then he's going to add the dandelion greens to it. Rick, do you want to incorporate the other ones too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the ones we already did and the ones he just did. I'm going to pass back to him. And then we'll start adding that in a little bit. Doesn't that look yummy? Oh my gosh. So I've never eaten dandelion greens. Rick has never eaten dandelion greens, but I saw on the list that we could grow dandelion greens. So why not grow dandelion greens, right? So I want to try this so we can pass on the recipe to you. Next week, I already have my recipes ready. We are going to do something with watercress. Someone that purchased a tower from me grew watercress. I, of course, had to grow watercress then. So now we're going to do a recipe with watercress. So keep that in mind for next week. And that grows so well on the tower. I am absolutely amazed. And we have actually been able to cut hunks of it off and pass it off to our friends. She actually took it home and put it in a pot and some on her tower. So it's just great having all of this vegetation for everyone to share with. How are we doing?
What do you think?
I
think it's
ready?
getting close, yeah.
Getting close. So I want to tell you about this fantastic salad that Rick made on New Year's Eve. I was unable to attend it, but he took this humongous bowl of greens to a New Year's Eve party, and he had so many different vegetables that people couldn't believe how good those vegetables tasted. He then said, well, he came home and told me that everybody had seconds, and he even had enough to leave some for the host of the New Year's Eve party. Now that is so wonderful to be able to do that with other people. So I think Rick's going to start adding those blanched greens now. So what he's going to do, he's going to saute those in there until they are tender, until they're wilted, which to me, they already got wilted when we blanched them because they were so tender. Just throw them all in. So he's getting them all arranged in there. And then what we're going to do is after the greens are wilted, he's just going to make a little shallow nest, 4 little nests, and we're going to add 4 eggs to it. So is that not going to be fun? And then you're just going to let the whites set up, sprinkle that with feta cheese, and we're going to be ready to sample that. Got them all in?
Yep.
Okay, here comes your eggs, one by one. And he's going to add the eggs now. And now I am going to ask you guys, what have you guys been doing since we haven't been around? Just put down in the chat and what you would like to see. We missed doing the show so terribly, but I had to recover. Rick has to recover from taking care of me. And then, so next week is watercress. What would you guys like to see after that? We have all kinds of veggies growing down there. I have some rhubarb that's almost ready. It doesn't say you can grow rhubarb, but I grew it anyway. And I think maybe we'll do something with the rhubarb in a couple of weeks. But if you have other ideas, that would be wonderful too. Okay, a double yolker on top of it. Look at that. So now we have 5 eggs in there. When was the last time you guys saw a double yolk egg? Okay, now that's going to cook until the whites are cooked. And then the eggs are supposed to be runny because they're going to be like a sunny side up. How's that looking?
It looks pretty good.
He says pretty good. For Rick, that's good. I'm going to get the feta cheese ready in his plate. I gave him 2 pieces of crusty bread because he loves bread. And then we'll be ready when he comes over with that. Look at how delicious that is.
Smells good.
He says, yeah, it does. It smells wonderful. Rick, I think that we could probably add the feta cheese now.
Yeah.
To let it melt a little bit.
Sprinkle it all over the whole thing.
Okay, we're going to top it with feta cheese now while the eggs are just finishing up. I can't believe you had a double yolk in there, Rick. Look at how good he's making that look. Oh my gosh. This is a great one. So guys, if you didn't have dandelion leaves on hand, why not substitute spinach for that? Because spinach is a superfood now. And then they say, okay, I do want to read this to you. Compared to spinach, dandelion leaves have 8 times more antioxidant, 2 times more calcium, 3 times more vitamin A, and 5 times more vitamin K and vitamin E. That is a huge superfood, but you could easily substitute spinach for this. You think it's ready to sample? I'm very anxious to say. Rick doesn't like his eggs running, so. But we're going to give it to Ricky to taste because Ricky eats anything, just like Mikey on that old commercial. Okay? I'm anxious for it to be done. That's why I keep turning around asking him.
Not there yet.
Not there yet. Okay. Well. Whites are too runny for Rick. He wants them cooked a little more, so we'll just wait there. So can you see yourself eating this either for breakfast or what about a quick dinner? Guys, when you work all day, you need something fast and easy to come home to. And this is so easy to whip up. You've got your protein. You can share this with, however, 2 or 3 or 4 more people. And if your kids eat eggs, this would be the perfect fast meal for them to eat. How wonderful would that be to be able to come home and whip up a meal like this? Or on a busy Sunday morning or Saturday morning, get this made before you head out to whatever activities you have going on. Wonderful ideas. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. He's ready now. He's braving up here for these runny eggs. You want to bring the pan over? Right here, babe. Get this. Does that one look done more? I'm trying to pick the one with the eggs aren't as runny. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, it would have looked pretty if it hadn't flipped over. A little more greens to go with it. You can see all the feta cheese in there. Sure. He's going to put that back on the flame so it can cook a little more. And then we're going to get his reaction. So I want to know how bitter the greens are. And since we blanch them to cut the bitterness, and then we have the leek the sweetness of the leek to offset it, I'm hoping that this is a great dish for us to try.
Try it.
Okay. Go for it, dude. How bitter is it?
It's not bad.
Not bad. Okay.
It's like eating spinach.
It's like eating spinach, guys. I am going to taste it because when Rick says not bad, remember, he doesn't use adjectives. So that is his big adjective for the day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try this. Oops. Sorry about that. This is not bitter at all. It does taste like spinach. Guys, this is hands down a slam dunk recipe. You have got to try this. If you're growing on Tower Garden, you need to be growing dandelion greens. This is fantastic. And I could eat these greens in a salad also. What do you think? He went back for seconds.
Tastes even better with the yolk.
Oh, it tastes better with the yolk. I didn't get any of the yolk in mine either, but the leek in there has a wonderful taste, and that feta cheese on top of it is perfect. Oh, I don't know. This recipe is a slam dunk. I really like this. So I encourage you guys to try this recipe and enjoy it. And when you do, let me know how well you like it because, whoa, this is good. You really like it?
Yeah.
This is a keeper.
It's a good breakfast.
I think it's a good dinner.
Good dinner too.
Okay, guys, so that's all we have for you this week. I want you to stay healthy, eat your greens, grow your greens, and reach out to us with any ideas you have that you might want us to try. And then next week, we're going to be doing watercress. So that is another interesting vegetable or green. Never in my life I thought I would eat. Probably never heard of it till I was an adult, to be honest with you. But let's start eating some of these superfoods. So until next week, you guys have a fantastic week and we will see you. Bye for
Bye.
now. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I want some of the yolk. Okay, what do you think? Much better with the yolk.
Yeah, reminds me of a spinach salad almost.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Oh,